Good afternoon, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins with a tropical update here. Kind of a lot going on, but not a lot of effect from it all, which is really good news. We have Bret, which is actually now in the Eastern Caribbean and weakening. We have Cindy, which is really small, but that looks like it wants to recurve and stay northeast of the island, so great news there. That third wave that came off of Africa, it's fallen apart, doesn't look like much. There's a fourth wave that came off, even another wave that's trying to come off now. That fourth wave looks interesting, but none of the models are really doing anything with it, and it looks like it's gone a little far to the south. So let's start with Bret. Bret now all the way through into the Caribbean. You can see it's right there. You can see the line as it went through the islands last night, Thursday night and Friday. Still some rain. The backside of it has quite a bit of rain, but if you look at the actual center here, there's barely even any convection around the center. Just starting to see some right here on the southeast quadrant. That's it. But wind shear is taking over. This should continue to fall apart over the next couple of days. And the forecast track from the Hurricane Center actually has it going from 60-mile-per-hour winds now to 50-mile-per-hour winds tonight, 45 tomorrow morning, 40 tomorrow night, and by Sunday morning it's down to 35-mile-per-hour. It'll be a depression basically at that point. So falling apart, and as a weaker system, which is typical, it just moves further west, almost due west across the Caribbean. So I think even Puerto Rico's going to be fine from this. Hispaniola, no issues. You can see the forecast modeling in very good agreement with that, so no worries as far as that goes. Now, here are the Windward Islands here. That is Cindy, right? Cindy, very small, not looking very good either. 50-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, some convection there, and still some winds in it, obviously, but this thing's out in the middle of the ocean. So the forecast from the Hurricane Center as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, as of 11 o'clock, I should say, this morning, does take it to the northwest. It does increase the winds a little bit, up to around 65 miles per hour by the time we get into tomorrow morning. But you notice, here are those northeast islands here, St. Martin, Anguilla, nothing to deal with this. Maybe a little bit of swell, obviously. Puerto Rico will get some swell from this, but not even a whole lot of that as it moves by and stays well to the north. Even Bermuda, I don't think we'll have to worry about it. Some of the long-range models want to take it just to the east of Bermuda. So we'll see. That's Bermuda, that black spot in the middle. All right, so now let's talk models. This is the GFS model. You can see where we've got the remnants, or what's left of Bret, right? This little hump here, that is Cindy. And you'll notice as we go out through the end of the weekend into Monday and Tuesday of next week, there's whatever shape Cindy wants to be in. Again, well clear of any landmass, so we're good there. And there's Bermuda, and it looks like, according to the GFS model, you see it wants to go just to the east of Bermuda. So they'll have to watch it. It may actually crank up a little bit as it moves by, just because it's gaining latitude. And when that happens, they tend to do that. They tend to get a little bit quicker. The GFS clears them out. By the way, and what you didn't see here is that third and fourth wave, even the wave coming off Africa, none of the models are really picking up on it. At least the GFS didn't. Let's jump over, look at the European model. Same thing, there's Cindy. Doesn't have much left over for Bret here along the northern coast of South America. And then Cindy kind of falls apart and goes south and maybe southwest of Puerto Rico, of Bermuda, right here, north of Puerto Rico. So it's in the middle there. I think everybody seems fine with that. But also notice nothing else really out here as well. Perhaps a small wave, but that would be just about it. So things do look to stay relatively quiet as far as that's concerned. But with the pattern being the way it is and the water being as warm as it is, it's something that we'll watch. Look how, I mean, this water is really warm for this time of year, and it goes all the way up off the coast of Ireland. Record-setting temperatures now in the water in the North Atlantic off west of Ireland. Our concern in the tropics, not a huge one, but we have something called the MJO, the Madden-Julian Oscillation. That's showing a lot of lift in this area. And that's why I said earlier this week, I'm not surprised that we've gotten more than one system developing. It's rare that we get these out here, obviously, at this time of the year. But because of the pattern with the lift in the atmosphere, we would be watching this area. By the end of next week, the end of the month, beginning of July, that lift in the atmosphere there, the MJO, it looks to shift a little bit further back towards the Caribbean and the East Atlantic. These are the areas that we would be watching for development this time of the year anyways. And I think what happens is the lift will drop in that area and pick up a little bit by the time we get into July. So it will be kind of more typical areas that we would be watching for development once we get into the month of July. Right now, no threat to Florida. Great news there. Enjoy your weekend.